everybody, Jeremy Siskind here. I'm the author of the Jazz Piano Fundamentals series. I'm the author of Playing Solo Jazz Piano and Solo Standards for Piano, which just says 8 arrangements of great jazz standards. Speaking of arrangements, I am a big proponent of thinking extra musically as you play. During a practice session, it's great to think about all these really nerdy musical things about, ninths and sharp 11s and tritone substitutions and whatnot. I think you want to practice that way. But when we perform, I don't think most of us want to hear and witness somebody performing who's thinking about music theory. What I really want is somebody thinking or imagining something maybe that's not totally musical, right? If you ever take a classical piano lesson, they might ask, what image does this bring to mind? And I think in jazz, there's so much great theory stuff that maybe we get away from that. And so I came up with this activity that I'm going to demonstrate, and maybe you'll just watch and enjoy it, or maybe you'll try it yourself. I chose the tune Summertime, and I wrote down 8 adjectives here. And I'm going to give you a brief version of Summertime for each of these 8 adjectives. And maybe I'll think a little bit about what I'm try to get a little more specific with each of them. So starting with Mellow. Mellow is so perfect for summertime because I'm imagining one of these lazy summer days where you're just sitting in a field, watching the clouds, watching the world go by. So that's kind of where I'm at with Mellow. Let's see where that goes. A different version of Mellow. That was, musically we'd say that's rubato, but it could also be really nice and slow. The next one is Jumpy, and I wrote this one because I know it's kind of a favorite of my teacher, Fred Hirsch, and certainly a contrast from Mellow. So this might not sound like your average version of Summertime. I always think there's something a little humorous in Jumpy, because if you jump, you're a little bit surprised. So maybe someone's swatting mosquitoes away. That's how, that kind of Jumpy. That makes me think of summer too. Jumpy. A lot of staccato, a lot of larger intervals, a lot of grace notes and half steps in there. All right, Pensive doesn't sound necessarily that different from Mellow. And maybe I'll combine these next two, Pensive and Dark, because I do think of Pensive as being like mellow, but darker, like you're ruminating. So let's see. Try one more chorus. I think I can make the harmony darker. I haven't figured out how. I don't know if I like it, but worth a try. All right, thick, which is also, I think I thought of these words because I was thinking about summertime, and of course the air gets really thick in summertime. So I'm gonna make some big voicings. And then I love the opposite, thin. I could imagine this in so many different styles or tempos, but I'm gonna try to just have mostly two melodies going at once. A very different version of thin. That was a little bit questioning, but let's see if I can come up with something else that's questioning. I feel like that's tough. Cool. I like where I got eventually. And then let's see. Cool is the last one. Of course, cool is associated with jazz a lot. So maybe something stride piano, something that I haven't done yet. All right. Thank you for watching. So I'm sure someone's out there that like, cool, tell me how you did that. How do you do that? Well, the good news is I've written too many books about, like, I put all of my knowledge of how to play jazz piano, about how to play solo jazz piano into playing solo jazz piano, and then like over 700 pages of a jazz piano fundamental series. So I'm not here to say that there's one easy trick. That is not the vibe here, but I've tried to give you everything that I've ever practiced, everything that I've ever learned in those books. So head over to jeremysiskind.com and try it by yourself. Try writing in 8 adjectives or 8 scenes and playing a tune in some different ways. It's a great party game. All right, everybody. Why don't you say something about a party game if you've watched this far, and I'll see you soon.